In this video, I'm going to be painting my very first portrait whilst paying tribute to a man who I hold in great esteem, my friend and mentor, Terry Pegg. Hey there, welcome to my channel. My name's Sean, and if you're new here, then this is the place where I talk about arty things, along with painting time lapses and demos. So consider subscribing. It does really help out the channel. I appreciate that very much. So I decided I wanted to try out portraiture painting. I'm not sure why exactly. I guess I wanted to broaden my artistic horizon, or maybe I just wanted to see how I would react when it came to mixing colours for skin tones. Or maybe the real reason why I wanted to try my hands in the portrait realm was the immediate need and desire to paint Maria, a friend of mine on Instagram. I couldn't believe how the photographer caught such an epic shot of her. I just love the composition, the colour gradients between the skin tones, the hair, the backgrounds. It ticked all of the right boxes and I knew I had to paint her. A big shout out to Evangelos, the photographer, for allowing me to use his reference picture. I'll put the link to his Instagram in the description. Go and check him out. His work is amazing. Now, I've never really felt the urge to dabble with portraits. Maybe figurative, but portraits? I thought, okay, this is probably the most difficult thing to paint. To try and capture every detail, colour tone, and not to mention getting the proportions right, because, hey, it's a portrait. And people will understand if something's not right with it, especially a family member of that person. But with this portrait, I didn't have any concerns or worries. I thought, okay, let's go. Let's put my touch on it and see what happens. I'm not interested in creating a photorealistic representation. I probably couldn't do that anyway. I thought, okay, this isn't a portrait. This is a beautifully well captured photo with nice shapes and great colour dynamic, with a satisfying composition. Paint what you love is a quote that all artists should adhere to. And in this video, I want to pay tribute to a man who was an inspiration to me, a gentleman who I've admired as a person and as an artist, Terry Pegg. I first met Terry in 2006. I was a graduate from the University of Falmouth and I had gotten a part-time job at a hotel as a barman in my hometown, a huge, beautiful, old-fashioned building that stood proudly across the bay overlooking the sea in Weston-super-Mare. I was 21 years old, tall and skinny, with a Ronnie Wood haircut. At that time, I had obtained a BA in illustration, hoping to become a children's book illustrator. When I first met Terry, he had to be in his late 70s. He lived next door to the hotel and would pop in for a cup of tea most mornings, and not to mention a frequent visit in the evenings to play pool or chess. I remember his wife Pauline would come in every morning and order a black coffee and sit by the window with a newspaper. Now, being a part-time barman working in a large hotel, it took a while before I found out that Terry taught an art class every Tuesday morning at the hotel. This immediately caught my attention, so we started talking and he took an interest in what I had studied at university. At that moment, he told me he was a full-time artist and that he had a studio in Cheddar, which was about a 30-minute drive from the hotel. I couldn't believe it. Terry had been a full-time artist for 40 years. Before that, he owned a large decorating firm. He was a sign writer and a gallery and shop owner for artistic materials. Terry was also an avid game inventor. One was called Rotor Snooker, in which he sold the idea to M&B Games. His studio in Cheddar, the southwest of England, was situated in a large touristy area and would see his income strive as he would sell his oil paintings directly to the public. He would paint many subjects, particularly battle scenes, ballerinas, wildlife, figurative and landscapes. He would also offer quick sketches to the public, pencil or coloured pencil. He once told me that the actor Robin Williams came into the studio for a portrait sketch. He said he was a lovely guy. I also remember him telling me once he had started a large painting and somebody walked past the studio and saw him working on the piece and asked, "Is that for sale?" Terry replied, "Oh, I've just started it." Well, the customer liked it exactly how it was and he bought the painting there and then, even though he had literally just started the piece. Terry also had many collectors. He would also work on commission paintings on a regular basis. As well as teaching art lessons at the hotel, Terry would also host workshops in his Cheddar studio and in a large room at the local cafe. Life drawing was a popular subject in Terry's class His students were mostly middle-aged women, and he often needed someone to model for the class. I came in a few times to model for them, and they would each give me £1 or £2 for my efforts. Terry used to tell me if I posed nude that I'd get more money, but I never did that. When I began working full-time at the hotel, I was lucky to spend more time with Terry with his frequent social visits. He became a good friend to not only me, but many of the staff that worked there. He was a great pool player, and we would also compete against each other, and it was a lot of fun. As an artist, Terry was very diverse. He painted what he wanted, and no matter what the subject was, his style of work would always show through, and you knew it was a Terry Pegg original. What fascinated me about Terry is that he really made it as an artist. He made a living selling his paintings before social media and the internet, in fact. He diversified his income by creating paintings, drawings, commissions, as well as teaching art. I have the pleasure of seeing 2 of Terry's paintings that hang proudly here, and they remind me of him every time I walk past them. He once said to me, "Sean, when I'm gone, I'll be at the studio up in the sky, continuing my work." Terry passed away in May 2020 at the age of 90. A professional artist for over 60 years. Amongst many things that I couldn't possibly add in this short video, he was kind, humble, gentle, innovative, and inspirational. And I am fortunate to have met him and known him both professionally and socially.